Jessica Felber, a recent UC Berkeley graduate, filed a lawsuit against the school for tolerating an anti-Semitic environment. Although the case was dismissed, hate crime still remains a prominent issue here on the UC Berkeley campus. I spoke with both Jessica Felber and Zainab Abdelghani, the president of Muslim Student Association, to hear what they had to say. UC Berkeley saw a drastic rise in the number of hate crimes occurring on campus this past school year. According to UCPD's annual campus safety report, that number more than tripled in 2010, with religious hate crimes being the most common. In recent years, there have been several accounts of violent conflict between pro-Israeli student groups like Tikva and organizations such as the Muslim Students Association and Students for Justice in Palestine. However, Zainab Abdelghani says we should be cautious, as these reports may not necessarily be an accurate reflection.
A lot of these are somewhat fabricated, if not blown out of proportion. And I mean, people get really passionate when they're on Sproul and they're talking about their issues. There's definitely been moments, I'm sure, from both sides where words that shouldn't be exchanged have been exchanged.
Much of these passionate emotions stir from the current Israeli occupation occurring in the Middle East. In 2001, SJP staged a highly controversial mock checkpoint at UC Berkeley. When asked about these mock checkpoints, Zainab stated that they were merely a simulation of the checkpoints in Israeli-occupied territory.
This checkpoint, which is simulated every year, it's a theatrical display of what goes on at an actual Israeli checkpoint. Many of the students who participate in, they're all actors, the people who participate in these. It's meant to shed light on the occupation and to hopefully make people see in a very real and concrete way the way in which occupation immobilizes the people.
However, in her lawsuit, Jessica Felber claims this is not the only incident where groups like MSA and SJP have used threat and violence to intimidate Jewish students. On March 5, 2010, Jessica Felber was allegedly assaulted with a shopping cart by a student from SJP. At the time, Felber was holding a sign stating "Israel wants peace." Zainab had a different side to the story.
I do know Hussam personally. His personal account of it is that it was an accident, and the people around him reported that the shopping cart was pretty piled high with things, like items. I think they were collecting something for some sort of drive, or it might have been stuff for direct action on Sproul, but he basically couldn't see in front of him. I don't think he's a belligerent, violent person.
Jessica emailed CalTV a statement that revealed tensions remain high between her and the club. She stated, MSA and SJP have little to no respect for pro-Israel and Jewish students on campus. My personal experience with them has been one of fear, intimidation, and violence against me. Many of my friends have been called names, had signs ripped out of their hands, and were stopped by students holding realistic-looking assault weapons for wearing identifying Jewish symbols. Members of MSA and SJP have sneered at us, yelled at us, gotten to within inches of our faces, and sometimes have even committed violent acts toward us. They certainly do not respect us or our right to a safe environment on campus. Zainab feels that this lawsuit is not an accurate representation of dynamics between these student groups on campus.
It's understandable that, people get really intense about it, but I don't think that diminishes sort of the relationships that we have on campus and basic human respect and dignity.
UC Berkeley still has a long way to go to reduce hate crimes and racial tensions on campus. Reporting for CalTV, I'm Lisa Lee.